think that's me. I look at my wife, it was, like, oh shit, here we go. And I think, I don't think about it, but I think this night I just said, all right, it comes and goes, there is a girl.
Matthew McConaughey, the Academy Award-winning actor known for his distinctive voice, laid-back charm, and iconic roles, has recently sparked significant debate and controversy with his outspoken views on woke culture and the current state of Hollywood. Over the years, McConaughey has evolved from the quintessential romantic comedy lead to a thought-provoking commentator, offering perspectives that often cut against the grain of popular opinion in the entertainment industry. His critiques have resonated with many who are frustrated with the increasing polarization in media and culture. Yet they have also stirred up considerable backlash from those who view his comments as a direct challenge to the progressive ideals that have gained prominence in Hollywood. This video delves into the multifaceted layers of McConaughey's arguments, the implications for his career, and the broader cultural discourse in which he is now a central figure. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. McConaughey's transition from an actor known for his rugged good looks and easygoing demeanor to a more introspective and philosophical public figure began to take shape in the 2010s. After a series of critically acclaimed performances in films like Dallas Buyers Club, Interstellar, and The Lincoln Lawyer, McConaughey became a symbol of what many referred to as the McConaissance. This period marked his emergence as a serious actor who could carry complex narratives and explore deeper themes, distancing himself from the lightweight roles that had previously defined his career. However, this transformation wasn't just professional, it also seemed to reflect a personal shift in McConaughey's outlook on life and the world around him. In recent years, McConaughey has increasingly used his platform to voice his opinions on a range of social and political issues, often positioning himself as a voice of moderation in a world of extremes. His criticisms of woke culture in particular have garnered widespread attention. For McConaughey, woke culture represents a dangerous trend in society where political correctness, identity politics, and virtue signaling have begun to stifle free speech, creativity, and open dialogue. He argues that this culture has created an environment where people are more concerned with being perceived as morally superior than with engaging in meaningful conversations about real issues. One of the key points McConaughey often raises is the idea that woke culture has led to a climate of fear, where individuals are hesitant to express their true thoughts and opinions for fear of being ostracized, canceled, or labeled as intolerant. He believes that this culture of fear is antithetical to the principles of free speech and open debate that are foundational to a healthy democracy. McConaughey's stance is that the rise of wokeness in Hollywood and beyond has not only limited the scope of acceptable discourse, but has also contributed to a growing sense of division and mistrust among people. In his critiques, McConaughey has not shied away from calling out his own industry. Hollywood, he argues, has become a breeding ground for this woke mentality, where artists and creators feel compelled to conform to a narrow set of progressive ideals or risk being marginalized. He has pointed to the increasing prevalence of what he sees as a performative brand of activism in Hollywood, where celebrities and influencers engage in social justice causes not out of genuine conviction, but because it has become a fashionable way to bolster their public image. This, McConaughey contends, has led to a kind of moral grandstanding that does little to address the underlying issues and instead serves to alienate large segments of the population who feel that their perspectives and experiences are being ignored or dismissed. McConaughey's views on Hollywood and woke culture are rooted in his broader philosophy of what he calls conservative liberalism. He describes this as a belief in the importance of personal responsibility, self-reliance, and traditional values, while also supporting social progress and the protection of individual rights. For McConaughey, the problem with the current cultural climate is not the pursuit of justice or equality, but the methods by which these goals are being pursued. He argues that the emphasis on identity politics and the policing of language has led to a form of tribalism, where people are increasingly defined by their group affiliations rather than their individual character and actions. This perspective has put McConaughey at odds with many in Hollywood, an industry that has long been associated with progressive causes and liberal politics. However, his critiques have also resonated with a significant portion of the American public, particularly those who feel that the pendulum has swung too far in the direction of political correctness. For these individuals, McConaughey's willingness to speak out against the excesses of woke culture is seen as a refreshing and necessary intervention at a time when many are reluctant to voice dissenting opinions. Despite the controversy his views have generated, McConaughey remains committed to engaging in what he describes as constructive dialogue. He has expressed a desire to bridge the growing divide between the left and right in American politics, urging people on both sides to move beyond the rhetoric of division and work towards common ground. This approach is reflected in his frequent calls for civility, respect, and understanding in public discourse. McConaughey believes that the key to overcoming the current cultural and political impasse is not through more conflict or confrontation, but through empathy, humility, and a willingness to listen to opposing viewpoints. However, McConaughey's call for moderation and his critiques of woke culture have not been without their detractors. Some critics accuse him of being out of touch with the realities of systemic injustice and the need for radical change. They argue that his emphasis on personal responsibility and individualism ignores the structural factors that contribute to inequality and marginalization in society. Furthermore, McConaughey's detractors contend that his critique of Hollywood's performative activism fails to acknowledge the positive impact that many celebrities and artists have had in raising awareness about important social issues. Others have taken issue with what they perceive as McConaughey's equivocation on certain political matters. While he has often positioned himself as a centrist, advocating for a balance between conservative and liberal values, some argue that this stance can come across as evasive or non-committal on issues that require a clear and decisive position. For instance, McConaughey's reluctance to fully align himself with either major political party in the United States has led some to question whether his calls for unity and bipartisanship are realistic, or simply an attempt to appeal to a broader audience without risking alienation. Despite these criticisms, McConaughey has remained steadfast in his belief that the current cultural climate in Hollywood and beyond is in dire need of change. He has emphasized that his critiques are not meant to dismiss the importance of social justice or the fight against inequality, but rather to encourage a more thoughtful and inclusive approach to these issues. McConaughey argues that by focusing too narrowly on identity and ideology, society risks losing sight of the common humanity that binds us all together. In this context, McConaughey's critique of woke culture can be seen as part of a broader conversation about the direction of the entertainment industry and its role in shaping public opinion. Hollywood has long been a powerful force in American culture, influencing not only how people view the world, but also how they understand themselves and their place in society. However, as McConaughey points out, this influence comes with a responsibility to foster open dialogue and to create spaces where diverse perspectives can be heard and respected. One of the more interesting aspects of McConaughey's critique is his willingness to acknowledge his own privilege and the ways in which it has shaped his views. Unlike some of his contemporaries who have taken a more combative approach to the culture wars, McConaughey often frames his arguments in terms of personal growth and learning. He has spoken about the importance of self-reflection and the need to continually challenge one's own assumptions and biases. This humility and introspection have endeared him to many who see him as a genuine and thoughtful voice in an often superficial industry. At the same time, McConaughey's willingness to speak out against woke culture and Hollywood's perceived excesses has also made him a polarizing figure. Some see him as a brave and principled advocate for free speech and individual rights, while others view him as a reactionary figure who is out of step with the times. This polarization reflects the broader cultural divide in America, where issues of race, gender, and identity have become increasingly contentious, and where public discourse has often devolved into a battle of competing narratives. As McConaughey continues to navigate this complex and often treacherous terrain, it remains to be seen how his views will impact his career and his standing in Hollywood. On the one hand, his willingness to speak out against woke culture could alienate him from an industry that has become increasingly progressive in its outlook. On the other hand, his critiques could resonate with a growing number of people who are frustrated with the direction of the entertainment industry and who feel that their voices are not being heard. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us? How do you think Hollywood will react to his comments? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.